Hi. All right. First things first, let's make sure that you can see and hear me. That's important um, because I had to reset everything up. And I see some people in the chat. Okay, great. Perfect. So before I start saying hi, good morning, John. Although I did just say hi, good morning. Um, Let me know if you can hear me because I have this microphone on and I don't know if you can hear me or not. I think I have it on. I think so. Let's see. I don't know. Is it? Maybe I don't have it on. Uh-oh. It says it's working. Okay. All right. John says it's working. Okay. That's good. Okay. Perfect. All right. All right. So let me say hi. Hi, Bob. How are you? Thank you so much. Hi, KS. So we already have a question. So I'm going to go ahead and just dive right in and answer this because it's so timely. So KS wants to know whether or not I have tested the claims that paprika becomes bitter if added too soon. And in fact, today I made chicken paprikash, and I don't know if I'm saying that right. So if I'm not, forgive me. Um, and the paprika gets cooked right along with everything else, and it is not bitter. So it was perfect. So, I don't know. It worked great. And that's how that dish is done. So I'm not sure if, and this is a Hungarian paprika, which I did test the recipe with a regular paprika, like a Spanish paprika that we would get at, Walmart or any store. And there is a difference. So in this recipe, I am going to recommend that you get a Hungarian style paprika. And I use the sweet, but a lot of people use a combination of sweet and hot and all that stuff. But I just used plain sweet and it was fine. There was no bitterness. In fact, it's even in the rub that I sprinkle on the chicken thighs before I sear them. So I'm searing that paprika pretty, on pretty high temperatures. So it was fine. So I think we can add our paprika whenever we want to. All right. Hi, Barry. Barry. Hi, Larry. I'll tell you why I'm a little tired today, and I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. Hi, Larry. Hi, Craig. How are you? Hi, George. Good to see you. Hi, Barbara. And Barbara, two Barbaras back to back. Barbara Evelyn wants to know who's going to act up tonight. I'm too tired to act up, so it probably won't be me. But we'll see. I know there was a dog behind me just a minute ago doing like you could see like ears or something popping up behind me. So who knows what these dogs will do. Jeff is off work today. So he usually works night shift, which is why we don't do Tasty Tuesday every week because he's either on days or nights and he's not here. But today he had to go to the foot doctor because he's been having an issue with plantar fasciitis. And he thought it was like taken care of, but he started having pain again. So he went, now he's in one of those cam boots. So he is off because he needs to really stay off of it or, excuse me, or walk with the cam boot, and he can't fly with the cam boot on. So anyway, so he's off work tonight. So he's in the back room editing a video. Hi, Claudia. How are you? Yeah, the dog always gets in the act, George. George says that dog always gets in the act. The dog will always get, one of them will make an appearance, I'm sure. Always, always. All right. So hi, Barbara Nevins. I think that's another Barbara. Might have three Barbaras. Hi, Joni. How are you? Hi, Leanne. How are you doing? You've been on my mind. I hope you're doing well as you can anyway. Hi, Dawn. How are you? Hi, Maddie. Hi, Jane. So while you guys gather your questions, because this is Q&A, so you can start firing away the questions that you might have for me, I do have a couple things. Number one, I want to explain why I'm so tired. I'm going away this weekend. I'm meeting up with Lauren from the Tasty Travelers. I'm super excited. We have met in person before, and we've just developed such a great friendship over the years. So Oops, I don't know what that was. Looks like I lost my video for a second. Anyway, so we are meeting up in Illinois, kind of a halfway point between the two of us. We rented a house through Airbnb, and we are taking turns making dinners and stuff. So, you know me, right? Oh my goodness gracious. I can't do anything easy. So I'm like, well, I've got smoked turkey in the freezer, and I've got smoked roast beef in the freezer. I'll thinly slice those. Oh, and then that's fine because that's easy, right? Then I'm like, well, I'll make the sandwich bread. Oh, and I'll make sourdough bread. Oh, you're going to have a ravioli soup, Lauren? Oh, I'll make Italian bread. And I'll make cornbread because I'm in charge of Mexican night. And, well, I'll make a raisin bread because, we have to have breakfast and raisin bread's good. And so basically, my day today consisted of making, well, yesterday I made a couple barbecue sauces. I made a homemade queso dip. I made a homemade Bloody Mary mix, which is so amazing. I used kind of loosely the recipe on my website, which I use the hot and cold blender, but this time I made it in the pressure cooker. So now I'm going to do a recipe on that for a pressure cooker because it works so beautifully. It was great. So I made that the other day and I put that in the freezer because I didn't want it to go bad, I also freeze dried some because Lauren's a little like, she's like, I don't know about this freeze dryer stuff, but I'm going to show her how I have fresh and I have freeze dried. So I'm going to show her that there's no difference really. So today I smoked ribs and made Italian bread, sandwich bread, raisin bread, and cornbread. And then when I get off this live, I'm making an apple strudel. And then tomorrow I've got like a whole list of things I'm going to make, like including homemade churros. Oh my gosh. So anyway, so busy, busy, busy. So oh yeah. So John says you've packed the sink, no doubt. My poor husband. So he's, walking around in this boot and he's like, oh my gosh. I mean, it looked like a tornado went through the kitchen. It really did. And I said, I said to him, I said, don't do the dishes for me. I'll get to them. But my back was hurting. So he was like, no, I can stand and do this, So he did the dishes, the first load. I mean, there's still going to be another load, but he did the first load. So that was helpful. Hi, Melba. How are you? Hi, Terry. Good evening. Hi, Crystal. I am doing well. I'm sorry you're having a bad day. I am doing well, though. In fact, it's really strange. So for those of you that joined us for New Year's Eve, I know I was like a little tearful, especially in the beginning of the broadcast, for the party part. Because I just been kind of feeling kind of down, like with all the little ailments, here and there. But I started using the foot massager that Jeff got me, which is like this amazing thing. And I think that it is acting as almost like a reflexology type of thing because except for today, which I overdid today, I have not had any pain. I have not had any cramping in my legs or my hands. I haven't had any arthritic pain, like nothing. No ringing in the ears, nothing. Like it's like just went away. No itching. Now today, just before I went live, I started feeling like my palms were itching a little bit and got a little cramping in my hands today, but I was doing a lot today. So anyways, that was good. Okay, this is a good one. George, are the claim, and I know the answer to this from experience, not from anything else but experience. Are the claims online? Can you hear my dog snoring? I don't know if you can, but that is my dog Callie, and she is snoring very loudly behind me. Are the claims online about vacuum sealed meat lasting a lot longer in the fridge? If so, how much longer should I trust before the meat goes rotten? Okay, yes, it is. It is true that as long as it's vacuum sealed, and it wasn't like I mean, you can't take 3-day-old meat, vacuum seal it, and then it's going to magically last longer. But if it is vacuum sealed, like I have taken, this is how I know, I have taken meat out of the freezer and I have forgotten about it. And ordinarily once it thaws, so like let's say give it a day to thaw, right? So that's a day. And usually, let's say like with chicken, okay, 2 to 3 days later, you wouldn't be using it, right? But it has lasted 5 days or more in vacuum sealed bags, uncooked, raw. And that would be true if it was frozen or not frozen before you put it in the refrigerator. So that would be fine. And that's because the air doesn't get to it. And so and don't include like a lot of the juices, and certainly don't include that little juice pack thing. Ugh, that thing's gross. That sits at the bottom of meat in the, when you get it from the grocery store, don't put that in there. But if you take your meat out, put it in your vacuum sealed bags, put them in the fridge, 5 days at least. It depends on the meat. I mean, pork, I also know this for pork too, pork tenderloin, which pork tends to kind of go off a little bit quicker, pork and chicken. But yeah, it is true. I know it because I'm still alive and I've eaten it way after I shouldn't have probably. But, the other thing is when you open it up, like if it's slimy and it stinks, throw it out, right? That is a sign that it's not good. Hi, Mike. How are you? Oh, Lord, Mike. Okay, so this is funny. You're the coolest chef I have met. Most of them are all stressed out. Well, I have my moments, of course, of being stressed. Today wasn't one of them, though, despite making all the stuff that I made. Today was not one of them. But yeah, I have my moments. And in fact, like I have a little funny story about the interns too. Like I'm a perfectionist, as like I achieve for perfection, even though it doesn't ever come, right? But I that's what I aim for all the time. And so one of the interns, he is 16, and he is so inquisitive, which I absolutely love. He asks such good questions when we're cooking. But we were doing a video and I was like, you have to be quiet. You can't keep asking me questions because you're gonna be talking right when we need to be hearing like the beep of the end of something or anything like that. And I probably was maybe a little too straightforward there. So, not exactly Gordon Ramsay, but I have my moments. So it's not all like cool, calm, and collected over here, let me tell you. Can you hear that? Oh my God. So funny. The dog snoring is hilarious. All right. Okay. Leanne, are you ladies gonna film? Oh, I was like, wait a minute, I have male interns. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. We didn't have any plans to do that, really. I mean, yeah, I haven't even talked to her about that, so I'm not really sure, what we planned on doing. Maybe we can. I don't know. I'll talk to her about it. I'll see what she says. She's not a huge video person, so we'll just see what happens. So, the other funny thing is I tried to place a Walmart order today. Oh my gosh, no, that was not working. So now, like they had some kind of glitch on their website. So now we're expecting a snowstorm. So where we're going, it's going to be snowy, which is great. It's going to be fine on Friday when we get there. It's going to snow all day on Saturday. So I'm really looking forward to that because we don't see much snow where I live. And then today, Jeff goes to the grocery store because I couldn't get the Walmart thing to order. I said, look, you don't have to walk around the grocery store, because his foot was hurting. Just get milk because I can't make this bread stuff without milk. Just get milk. Never thinking the shelves were bare. I'm like, well, just get half and half. I'll make it into whole milk. I'll switch it up. It'll be fine. Oh my gosh, so funny. So yeah, our shelves are bare. So it's a good thing I'm making bread, right? Because we're not going to be able to buy any. Okay. Hi, Joni. Joni made it till 3 a.m. How much longer did you stay on? 5 a.m. I kid you not. Needless to say, I did nothing on New Year's Day. Nothing. I was out like, oh my gosh. So yeah, 5 a.m. we closed it down. That was too long. I gotta get control of myself and not stay up that late. Hi, M&T, living it. How are you? All right, Alyssa, let's see. I haven't read your comment yet. Okay, listen in. I like that. Okay. I made chili yesterday. I made your honey butter cornbread recipe and it was delicious. I made it in my air fryer and it worked out perfectly. That is great. So that would be is that the apple cornbread? I don't know if I have honey butter cornbread, but I might. I don't even know. But I'm glad you liked it no matter what it was. Even if it wasn't my recipe, I'm just glad you liked it. Um, Hi, Milton. How are you? Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, actually. My back is hurting today, but that's just because of all the stuff I did. Hi, Erin. How are you? Oh, Crystal, I'm sorry. Um, well, I'm not going to put that up on the screen, but because really, if somebody's in the chat, they can read it. But I'm sorry. Parents can sometimes mean well, but they can sometimes get too much in your business, right? So, anyway, you just do you and take care and make sure that you are taking care of your health too. Um, I don't know, Tony C. I don't know what that means. Maybe it was something else. Tony C put up that juice pack thing is just to add weight. Oh, I remember. I know what you're talking about. That gross thing. I don't think it is actually just for that though. It pulls the juices away from the meat so that they stay fresh longer. So there's actually a reason for it, and that pack thing isn't really going to add any weight because a little bit maybe, but not too much. So that isn't actually the reason. The reason is for food safety purposes, but still, that thing is gross when it gets full. Oh my, so gross. Hi, Deborah. How are you? Oh, Carson, thank you so much. Your videos have made me love cooking. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Hi, Jen. How are you? Happy New Year. Um, oh gosh, Deborah says I can. I wondered if it was Jeff. No, I would kick him to the other room, but it's my dog back there snoring away. Hi, Faith. How are you? Hi, Dawn. How are you? Um, Oh, M&T Living It says we don't see snow either, but it's cold in Florida. It's cold here in Mississippi. I'm at my work house and it's cold in Mississippi. I smoked ribs today and there's a little bit of snow on the ground. So we did get like 3 flurries. I mean, I'm from Maryland and my mom is from Western Maryland where they get tons of snow. So I am well experienced with snowfall. And the people here, like in Tennessee and Mississippi, because they see it so infrequently, it like shuts everything down. So like three snow flurries and there's no bread or milk anywhere. But apparently they are getting a snowstorm on Friday. I just don't know how much, but we'll be gone. We'll be in Illinois. So hey Cody, how are you? Good to see you. I have a funny story. So remember I was telling people that on New Year's Eve of 2023, we did this little party thing, or no, 2024? No, this was 24. 23, we did this little party thing, same thing we just did at our house in Tennessee. And it was a virtual New Year's Eve party. And Jeff had been listening to some music to get a melody so he could play the guitar. And we got copyright strikes. Well, we had people come and sing, Cody and not people, one person, and Jeff and one of our interns was playing the guitar, and we got copyright strike for Total Eclipse of the Heart. Isn't that funny? So I don't even know why, right? I mean, it's not a bad thing. It doesn't matter because once that party's over, that party's over. Like we take that down. We don't leave it up. So I just thought it was really funny. That we would get a copyright strike. I thought like after a certain amount of years, a song becomes like, I don't know if it's called eminent domain or something, but I thought like it was fair use, like you could use it. I mean, we didn't play her song. They sang it and played the guitar. So I thought that was funny. Hi, Alex. How are you? Leanne says she had 9 inches of snow on Monday. That's crazy. and it's 11 degrees and icy, no deliveries and bare shelves. I can imagine. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Oh my gosh, George, I know. George was there. So George is in Scotland. So I think it was like mid-afternoon the next day. I don't remember the timing. I think he told me it was like almost like time to go have dinner or something when he signed off. So it's just crazy. It was January 2nd before I was able to function again. Me too. Me too. It was terrible. Hey, Bon. I mean, it wasn't terrible. I wasn't hungover or anything, but exhausted. Absolutely exhausted. Hi, Bonnie. How are you? And Jen is having freezing rain and cold in Wisconsin. Um, let's see, Barbara. Oh, and Barbara says her husband and her stayed up with us until 1 a.m. That's when we all should have gone to bed at 1 a.m. We should have all said good night. Good night. Oh, okay. So no, this is a different one. So I made it in the pot and poked holes in the bread and poured honey butter over it. Oh, okay. That must be the Ninja Foodie one. I just made another one this time that has actual corn kernels in it. I made it. I don't know what I'll do with it. If I'll make another cornbread recipe. I've got several on my website, but already. But I just wanted to do something a little bit different. So we'll see how it turns out. I won't know until we cut into it this weekend. Yeah, so Erin's saying I was looking at your cornbread recipes and I remember reading about the honey cornbread. Yeah, that must be the Ninja Foodie version, I think. Yeah. Um, oh, and Crystal's saying they might get snow on Friday in Georgia. Oh, wow. That's kind of unusual. Okay, so Tony wants to know where you can find the sweet paprika. Now, I have read, since I ordered mine, I have read that there's different kinds of brands, but I got mine Hungarian sweet paprika on Amazon, and I can't pronounce the name of it, but I can send you a link to it so you can see what it looks like. And that's the one I'm using, and I really like it. But I read another recipe of somebody else, and they had some people say that's not the best brand, but I don't know. It seemed good to me, right? All right, this is going to be kind of a long link because it's not an affiliate link. And they, oh my gosh, they're like 5,000 characters long. I don't even know if I'm going to fit that in the chat. It's not an affiliate link because I'm not signed into Amazon and I don't feel like signing in to Amazon. Let's see if I can. Wow. I wonder if I can shorten this because it's crazy. Let me see if I can get this so you guys can see what the excuse me, if you can see what this is. Yeah, that worked. Okay. So I shortened it quite a bit. My goodness. All right. So Amazon, yeah. And there's different kinds of brands and stuff. Now I wonder why that's not posting. Oh, there it went. Okay. So you should have that right there. M&T Living is from DC, Maryland originally. I grew up in Annapolis, Maryland. So that's where I'm from. And John says he uses powdered milk so we don't run out. I thought about that. I was like, I wonder if I can freeze dry some like half and half or something. Yeah, freeze drying things that have a lot of fat in them. I don't know. But anyway. Oh, you know what else I did this morning? I filmed the end of a yogurt video. I made yogurt in the Ninja Combi and I filmed the end of it. So yeah, it was really busy. I don't know. Does my screen keep blinking? Because it keeps blinking on my end. I'm not really sure. Bonnie said she stayed up till 1:30 New Year's Eve for the party. Yeah, that's like if I wasn't live, if we weren't live, we would have been probably in bed by 10 or 11. Seriously. But 1:30 or 2 is that's where we need to cap that party off. 1:30 or 2. Staying up till 5 is like too much. Okay, I have a question about bread. When they talk about salt, what kind do you use? I almost always use fine grind sea salt, or kosher salt is another popular one. Diamond Crystal brand is very popular among chefs. So that is what I use. And I mean, I use that and the other, but I mean, if you wanted one brand of kosher salt that like almost every recipe on the internet that is from a professional chef will call for, it's the Diamond Crystal brand of kosher salt. And it is fantastic. Like, I mean, salt is salt, right? But the way that it feels in your hand when you're salting food makes the difference. And the type of grind that it has. And the Diamond Crystal is sort of like a little bit flaky. I really like it. But most of the time, I'm cheap. So I get the fine grind sea salt from Sam's Club in a big container because the Diamond Crystal I have to order from Amazon because nobody sells it around here. And it's just more expensive. I don't use table salt, though, at all. I don't ever use table salt. I don't even think I own it, honestly. I don't think I own table salt at all. Yeah, I don't think I do. I might, but I don't ever use it. It was a lot of fun, Cody. It really was. It was. All right. Oklahoma City, 1 to 3 inches of snow on Thursday. Oh my goodness. Yeah, John signed off at dinner time. So it was 5 p.m. or so, or right around there in Australia when he signed off. Oh my goodness. That was a crazy night. I mean, that was a long, you think about it, we did Tasty Tuesday, and then we were up until 5 a.m. That was a long night. Yeah, the link works here. Not surprised you didn't want to pronounce Sajid. Yeah, I don't even know how you would pronounce that. I'll have to look that up, especially if I'm going to do a video on it. I might have to talk about it. Okay, Jen, that's interesting. I've been using shelf-stable milk for baking. So far, so good. Interesting. Is it just like a powdered milk? Do you reconstitute it? That's interesting. Okay. All right. Barbara says the video is fine here, but John says it blinks occasionally, freezes briefly, then all good. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I have a new computer too, which is a mini Mac or something like that. So my MacBook Pro was kind of giving me some trouble. It's just old, right? It was just old. So I thought, well, I'll get a Mac Mini instead of, I was going to get the one with the monitor and everything like that. But because I go between houses, I thought, I'll get this little thing. Now I'm afraid to lift it up, but it is so little. I mean, let me see. I hope I don't. Like if I go dark all of a sudden, just bear with me. I think I got it. That is the size of the computer. That's it. Isn't that crazy? So I don't know if one of my connections isn't tight, if that's causing the blinking. I'm not really sure. All right, so Crystal, I'm going to make a raspberry field Danish. Oh my gosh, I love a raspberry Danish copycat recipe that I'm making up. Do I need to have the raspberry jam room temperature or do I need to heat it up? That is a good question. And I would assume I would not heat it up. And I'm assuming, I'd have to kind of see the recipe. Like, is it a puff pastry type of thing? I would definitely have it room temperature though. You don't want it cold or it'll just be kind of gelled. And also get the seedless kind. I think you'll be happier with that. I don't like seeds in stuff like that. So that's why I say that. But that sounds so good. I love raspberry Danish. Oh my gosh. Is it going to have cream cheese in it? Oh, I like that too. That'd be so good. Yeah, but definitely room temperature, but I don't think you need to heat it up because then it'll be too runny. So just bring it out and it's, so full of sugar. It's not going to go bad or anything. Oh, Spencer, that's hysterical. I passed out and woke up when you were still on. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, so Bonnie, the whole thing about table salt and iodine is way over. It's way over. Way back our natural diets did not contain enough iodine, and it caused, I believe it was rickets, was the disease it caused when you didn't have enough iodine. However, that is no longer an issue, so you don't have to use table salt with iodine. You are going to get, you don't add iodine, you get it through all kinds of other ways, shellfish and things like that. But they have said that you do not need to add iodine to your diet. We get it naturally enough now with the foods that we eat. Now, of course, I guess if you're on some kind of very strange diet, and when I say strange, I'm not trying to be insulting, but like something, an obscure type of thing, or really restricted in what you eat, then you want to make sure that your food sources are going to have enough iodine in it. But usually there's no issues with that anymore in today's time. That was way back. Okay, yeah, so okay, they're having a conversation about ultra high temperature milk. That's the pasteurization process. I'm so sorry. I'm yawning. Hi, Carrie. How are you? Oh, good. Okay, yeah, it's puff pastry. My aunt brought it from a grocery store and brought it on Christmas Day and liked it so much I think I would try to recreate the recipe. Yeah, that's good. I'm making using puff pastry with the apple strudel, and what I did was, instead of pressure cooking, because I have a recipe for pressure cooked apple pie filling, but instead I followed the same recipe, but instead I used the Possible Cooker Pro because I wanted to see how it would work, and I braised for about 50 minutes. I braised the apples in a little bit of freshly squeezed orange juice, orange zest, and some seasonings. And, the apples, of course, break down, they give off liquid and stuff. And then I cooled it completely, and I will put it on my puff pastry. So you don't want to add anything hot to your puff pastry. So room temperature is fine. Now, if you can't get it to the consistency to be spreadable, Crystal, you can gently heat it, but then you also want to make sure that it's cool enough before you spread it onto your puff pastry. Hi, Donna. How are you? Oh, Alex says Trader Joe's has some awesome options for salt. Most of them are seasonal, but I was able to get Portuguese sea salt and a wine. Portuguese sea salt. And infused sea salt grinder with rose, pink peppercorns, and rosemary. Well, that sounds good too. That sounds really good. We don't have Trader Joe's anywhere near us, so I can ever go there. Oh, George, yes. Okay, good. So I wanted to ask you about that. So George got a sous vide immersion circulator for Christmas, and you did a pork shoulder. All right, awesome. 24 hours. It's marinating as it cooks. Yep, I bet it will be good. I love sous vide cooking. I mean, I absolutely love it. In fact, Jeff is going to make chili. He's going to make my quick chili when we are in, we're not going to Chicago, but we're going to Illinois. But anyway, he's going to make the quick chili, and I don't have the pressure cooker. So I said, well, I mean, I didn't say this. He brought it up, but I said, I don't have a pressure cooker there. I don't think they have a pressure cooker there. And he said, well, that's okay. He said, well, I could do it here and sous vide the sirloin, because we have found that if you sous vide sirloin for 4 hours, it cuts like filet. I mean, it's just perfect. And so I said, well, I'll do that for you tomorrow. I'll sous vide the sirloin. Now, when you sous vide sirloin, just so you guys know, like ordinarily, if I'm going to do steak, or any steak, goes for any steak. If I'm going to do a steak that is going to be less than 3 hours, I always sous vide to about 125. But if you are going to go any time over 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours even, you need to go up to 130 for food safety reasons. So just make sure that you know that. Okay. Okay. Bonnie says you'll have to share your sous vide pork recipe. And then John has a question. George, have you noticed any major power increases at these early days of testing? You're talking about with the sous vide cooker. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, John, or not, but it would be too early, I would think, to know whether or not there's going to be an increase but I've never noticed any increase with that. Crystal says, I want to do sous vide because it's on my Instant Pot to a Crisp, but I'm kind of intimidated by it. Don't be, Crystal. It's the easiest thing in the world. That I've got a recipe that would work fine in the Duo Crisp. The thing about sous vide cooking is even if you don't have a circulator, even if you have like the Ninja Foodie with the sous vide function or the Instant Pot with the sous vide function, as long as you can test it to make sure that it's working correctly. So if you have a thermometer that will tell you the temperature, Crystal, just make sure it gets up to the right temperature. But I have found that they all work fine. I don't know that I've tried the Duo Crisp personally, but I would think it would work fine. On some models of the Ninja Foodie, it takes a little bit longer. It takes like, after it says add food, it can take even 30 minutes longer to reach the temperature that you set. But that's usually on higher temperatures, like when you're going to be cooking something like a vegetable, sous vide vegetable, which requires much higher temperatures than a steak. But yeah, don't be. It's the easiest way to cook. It is pretty much, I mean, it is basically foolproof. You really cannot mess it up. It's amazing. I mean, it's an amazing way to cook. I did, oh, and George, on this note, I wanted to tell you, because I can't believe I forgot to tell you this. I have not given up on the beef Wellington. I didn't get it done for Christmas, though. And I'll tell you why. Because I never made it up to Jackson to get a nice filet. And so I bought an eye of round roast, thinking, I can sous vide that, and I'll make it taste like, a filet. And everybody will think I am just so wonderful because I'm going to save them so much money, except for that didn't happen. It was actually good. The eye of round was good sous vide cooked. It really was, but it just didn't bring the same thing that a filet does. So I'm going to work on sirloin. And when I go to Club next, I'm going to look for a nice sirloin. I do not know why the screen keeps blinking, but it is annoying. It is very annoying to me. Anyway, so I haven't forgotten about your, now I forgot what it's called, beef Wellington. I'm definitely going to be doing that. All right. So Susan, yeah, lack of iodine caused goiters. Wasn't it rickets too? I thought it was. It was called the goiter belt. We took little chocolate tabs in elementary school back in the early 50s. You know what? I think I remember that. But I also thought it was rickets. Let me look that up real quick because I could be wrong. Of course, I don't even know what rickets is. Okay, deficiency of iodine causes rickets. True or false? Google. Oh, okay. No, I'm wrong. It is false. So I am wrong about that. It was vitamin D that caused rickets. So a deficiency of vitamin D. So I am wrong about that. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Because, I don't want to mislead anyone. So thank you, Susan. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Jen has a question. Do you put the lid on your pressure cooker when sous vide? Yes. Yeah, because you want to keep the heat in. And so if it's the pressure cooker that has the 2 lid, you vent it. So you put the pressure lid on and you vent it. If it's the 1 lid, you just close it because you don't end up moving that locking thing. All right, so Spencer, I got the Ninja Possible Cooker Pro for Christmas, and I've used it on slow cook and braise. Do you prefer one over the other? That is a good question. So, on the Possible Cooker, from my experience, which is not extensive by any stretch of the imagination, but on my experience, I tried beef stew on low, and the vegetables never got done, even overnight. And that is because with it being a thicker liquid, because I had put everything in there to make the beef stew, I didn't start with something thin, like a thin liquid. I added in the flour and all that stuff just to cook all together, right? So it wasn't able to produce enough heat to cook the vegetables, the potatoes and the carrots, enough, even after 10 hours on low. So that was kind of a bust for me. Now, high slow cook seems to almost, I don't want to say too high, but it's high, right? So I haven't tried the beef stew in it, but I'm going to. So I haven't used the high slow cook too much. Braise, what I'm finding, is like right in the middle. So kind of think of it as low slow cook, medium slow cook is braise, high slow cook is going to be a pretty heavy heat. But again, it depends on what the liquid is in the cooker, and that will depend on how much it like boils or simmers and things like that. But I have not done enough testing to really be able to talk about it like I could, like the Ninja Foodi pressure cooker and air crisper. But I'm working on it. I'm actually doing my recipe for baked beans that I always do in the pressure cooker. I'm going to do that in the Possible Pro cooker tomorrow. So that's what I've been trying to do, is take recipes that I'm going to make anyway. Like I'm going away, we're having barbecue night, I'm going to make baked beans. So I figured, well, instead of doing it like I always do it in the pressure cooker, which I know works, I will do it in the Possible Pro cooker and I'll learn from that, right? All right. And Classy Chick, yeah, yep. Lack of vitamin C and D causes rickets. Yeah, thanks guys for correcting me. Crystal got a panini press. Oh my gosh. One of my most favorite sandwiches to make a panini out of is a Cuban. I think they are amazing. So they are pork, deli meat ham is fine. I usually use a pork tenderloin or something for the pork. But you can even use pulled pork as long as it's not overly seasoned with barbecue flavors. Mustard, dill pickle. What else is on a Cuban? Is it Swiss cheese? I can't remember now. Let me look. Oh my gosh. But a Cuban sandwich is, oh my gosh, one of the best things. Let me see. I have a recipe on my website, but it's for a wrap. It's for an air fryer Cuban sandwich wrap, and it's good too. So let's see what's on it. Yeah, 1 ounce of cooked pork. This is per sandwich, cubed or shredded. I used a grilled pork tenderloin. 1 ounce of ham, usually deli ham, Swiss cheese, dill pickle, Cuban style mustard, which I cannot find anymore. So I would probably use spicy brown mustard is what I would use. And then you just make your panini. There's actually a Cuban bread that is good too, but I can't find it. And I made it once, but I don't know if it was really authentic enough for me to call it Cuban bread. So I didn't put it out or anything, but it was very good. James wants to know, do I own a restaurant also? No, I used to. I used to own a barbecue restaurant in Baltimore when I lived in Maryland, but I do not own that now because I live in a different state, and it was a lot of work. My business partner was a real jerk, and my husband and I just had our own careers. So when we thought about turning into a bistro, but we didn't. His mom was like, I think you're biting off more than you can chew. And I think we agreed with that. We did agree with that because then we decided not to do it. So yeah, but I loved every minute of it. I think owning a restaurant was probably one of the most fun things I did when I was in Maryland doing my nursing stuff too. I love nursing, but there was something about feeding people. Like when I would go up there and I would be able to feed people and take their food out to them and find out, if they liked it or, whatever. Oh my gosh. There's just nothing like it. It was amazing. It was very small. It was a very small place. All right. So I know you're talking to John. Okay. So George, that is fine for your immersion circulator. You don't have to fill it with cold water. But I mean, you're going to always be cooking over what your hot tap water probably is. So that's okay. But it does throw off the appliances a little bit. So I always recommend, if you're using the Ninja Foodie, the Instant Pot, the Possible Cooker Pro, or any of the other appliances, the Speedy, the Combi, just use, I mean, you don't have to use like freezing cold, but just use a normal, tap water. Don't boil it. A lot of people will boil it, but that's going to throw off the temperature. So don't do that. Oh my gosh, a Reuben. Oh, yes. A Reuben panini would be delicious. Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. And Leanne said she made a Cuban today. Awesome. What mustard do you use, Leanne? I'm curious because I used to get this Cuban mustard from Safeway when I lived in Maryland, and I can't find it anymore. And Jen saying the most important part of a good panini is the bread, nice thick slices. Yep, the bread is very important. It certainly is. And Alex Hay likes to make the Rachel sandwich, which is a Reuben, but isn't that with turkey? Isn't it? Yeah, I think that's what it is. James says, I miss the restaurant experience. Yeah, it is cool. It is really cool. I mean, I don't think I would ever do it again, but I mean, Jeff and I have actually talked about it, opening up like the Salted Pepper Cafe or something like that. But I don't know. The idea of it sounds wonderful. The work behind it sounds terrible. I already do enough work. Okay, so Leanne gets Cuban mustard on Amazon. I'm gonna have to look for that. I don't know if I'm blurry, if my glasses are blurry. Oh, I've got good news though for those of you that have been following my eye dilemma. I go pick up my contacts. I'm gonna pick them up when I go out of town, and they are like what you would call, I guess you'd call them bifocal contact lenses. So I don't know. Like, it sounds weird to me, but apparently you can see far and you can see near. So we'll see what happens. But looking forward to it. Oh, and then I wanted to get these same glass frames. These are so scratched up. That's part of the problem. That's part of my issue. They are so pitted and scratched up that I can't see. It's horrible. So they don't have them. These are out of stock. So I went on eBay for the first time in my entire life. I went on eBay and they were like $30 or something per pair. So you guys will be seeing me in the same glasses for years and years to come because I bought 6 pairs. 6 pairs. They're just frames, right? So I'll have the prescription put in. But I figure, well, I'll get progressives, which are the, bifocals. And then I'll get another pair that's just for distance. And then I'll probably get a pair for readers for when I'm at my computer like this, so I can wear my contacts and still see the computer. So anyway, I'm set now. It's going to be funny to see all these different glasses. I have like 5 pairs of readers now, but they're from Walgreens and they're not the best quality, right? But they work, but they all look identical. And of course, these will all look identical too. So I'm gonna have to put like a little piece of tape on the inside so I know which one is which. And the funny thing about the readers that I have is I cannot read the number on them. Like, no matter if I put them where I could actually read them, would be far away like this, the print's too small. But if I put them up close, I can take, if I have my contacts in, I can't see them at all, but I can take my glasses off and I can see up close just fine. Anyway, it's just all these things have been happening over the past year. So it's been like really kind of crazy. Okay. Classy Chick says that I always use boiling stock when using the slow cooker or pressure cooker. It works great. You do what you want. If it's working for you, it's fine. That is not something I recommend to people because if you're doing your own recipe, you're following your own thing, it's fine. But if you're following a recipe of mine or you're following somebody else's recipe, we didn't do it that way. So your time's going to be off. Slow cooking, not that big of a deal, right? But pressure cooking, it will throw your times off because your time to pressure will be a lot less. And then that can really screw up food. Depends on what it is. Okay. Like definitely rice, it would mess up, but it would mess up pasta too. But then there's other things like pork shoulder. If you put in a cup of boiling water versus a cup of cold water, the pork shoulder cooks so long in the pressure cooker, it's not going to make a difference. Oh, James, tell your 8-year-old I said hi. Oh, that sounds good too. Pepperoni, onion, pepper, and extra cheese panini. That sounds so good. Google glasses so Louise can see what we look like. Oh my gosh, that would be so funny, George. That would be creepy. I wouldn't wear them. Could you imagine if I could see into everybody's living room or wherever you are? No, thanks. I don't want to do that. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Sliced Italian sausage sounds good too. Yeah. I love a good sandwich. Like, I think it's probably one of the best things in the world when you put together a really nice, really good sandwich. Yum. Now, a salad, I love a really good salad too. But the funny thing about making a salad is by the time you get done making them all, like, it's like a pain, right? So a salad is always better if somebody else makes it for you, I think. Yes, John, I have. I have seen into your living room and your kitchen. Yep. So anyway, what else is going on? Any other questions before I head on off of here and go make my apple streusel and then collapse into bed? It's been a fun chat tonight, guys. I appreciate it. I love hanging out with you guys, I tell you. It's so much fun. And I really feel terrible about saying it was rickets when it's not rickets. I don't like to misspeak like that because I don't want people to. That's one of the problems with the internet. I think you guys probably know that, but it's one of the problems. Like if you do make a mistake, people take that as fact, which like I try to be as factual as I can, but that was just an error. Just I didn't recall correctly, and then somebody else will run with it, and somebody else will run with it, and then it becomes a fact that isn't a fact, right? Okay. All right. Oops, sorry. That was not, I meant to do this one here. Have you ever worked with coconut? If so, can you explain when to use it? Just started experimenting with it, but haven't found any recipes requiring it. Okay, so coconut, as far as like a whole coconut that you crack open and you get the flesh and the coconut water out of, or are you talking about shredded coconut? I have in my lifetime cracked open, I think, 2 coconuts. I cannot say that that was any fun at all, but it's a totally different experience. The flesh is different. The coconut water, like it is amazing, right? But I've done it twice. So, oh, coconut aminos, that's totally different. I could go to the whole coconut thing. Okay, so yes, I have experience with coconut aminos because one of my residents at the assisted living was gluten-free. So the W sauce, Worcestershire sauce, has gluten in it. And so she had to use the coconut aminos. And it's just like a soy sauce. So it is going to add an umami type of flavor. So it's going to bring a richness. So you can use it in place of soy sauce. You can use it in place of Worcestershire or Worcestershire sauce. Yep, I just saw that comment come up. Or W sauce, which I think in the UK, that's what they just call it, which they're smart, right? They're smart. So yeah, anytime I would probably place it around like almost not quite like fish sauce, but still it's going to provide the same sort of depth. So if your recipe calls for soy sauce or W sauce, you can use the coconut aminos. Vegemite sauce. Yeah, it's kind of like a Vegemite. It is. It's got that same thing. So coconut aminos, I've never really looked up exactly what it is. I just know it's the gluten-free version. Let's look it up. Let's learn something. Let's see. What is it? What is it? Let's see. So it's a savory sauce. I knew that. To flavor food. Okay, so to make it, they collect the nectar from a coconut palm's unopened flower buds, mix it with salt, and leave it to ferment. So it's a fermented thing. Okay, cool. So it's a little bit less salty than a light soy sauce and a little bit sweeter. Um, but definitely can be used in those kind of applications. So let me think about when I would use it. Um, I would also use it in place of the W sauce too, if if you needed to. So I think maybe it's soy sauce that has gluten in it. I thought it was Worcestershire sauce though, but anyway, one of them does. And I know that this was what she needed to use at my assisted living, and I never really noticed any difference in cooking. So I thought it was pretty good. Now somebody mentioned, and I missed it. I meant to get to it, so let me get to this right now. There's a couple of things I want to talk about as far as appliances that are coming out. And it's not a pressure cooker, unfortunately, but they have a new grill coming out, Ninja does, called the Ninja Flex Flame. And it is a full-size grill. It is propane and electric. The propane is the heat source. The electric is the temperature control source. And it smokes. So it's a smoker and a grill. That doesn't do charcoal though, but you could, I guess, use charcoal pellets, I guess, but I don't think they are the same as cooking over, hot charcoal or hot wood fire. I don't think it's the same at all. But that being said, I've been looking for a grill for a couple of years now, and I wanted it to be able to smoke meat, and I wanted it to be propane too. And one of the things that is so intriguing about this Flex Flame is the exact temperature control that Ninja claims it has. Because I don't know, I'm not a big griller. Now, I smoked meats because I own a barbecue restaurant, right? I smoked meats. That's totally different. I had a big rotisserie wood burning barrel thing. I mean, it was just insane. It was crazy. It was like 4 feet long. And it was all wood fired. And that's how we got, we used cherry wood or peach or apple or whatever to get the smoke flavor. But when it comes to propane grill, I mean, I can do it, but I'm standing there questioning myself the whole time because I don't know what the heat is. I don't know what the temperature is. I'm only going by looks. I don't use a thermometer that much, especially when I'm grilling for myself or anything like that. So I'm like, this might just be the ticket, because if you could set it to, the temperature that you wanted, I just think that may be a game changer. So I think I'm going to get it, but it's very pricey. So, but I think I'm going to get it. And I was going to get it before I went away, but it'll be delivered when I'm away. So I think I'm going to get it when I get back. But I'm excited about that. Now, let me tell you about the other new thing that came out, and it's all over TikTok. It's all over everywhere. It's called the Ninja Swirl by Creamy. Silly name, I think. Should have been the Ninja Creamy Swirl or something like that. Anyway, so it's the Ninja Creamy machine with a little side thing that does soft serve. But the way it works, from what I understand from the limited information that's out there, is you make your creamy concoction in the little cup, just like normal, freeze it, spin it, just like normal. There's a soft serve setting. So there's 2 different settings, I think, scoopable and soft serve. So you have to pick the function for soft serve. And that's just going to blend it up even more. It's going to make it soft serve. But then you attach the cup that you just blended it up in. It's not blending, it's really shaving. But anyway, then you attach this cup to the other side and you pull a lever and it pushes it out, into a swirl, so you could do a swirled cone. Now, personally, I think that we could just use our old creamies if you have one, or even a blender, and make a soft serve and put it in a piping bag and pipe it in. Might not be as fun, but I mean, it would work. So I don't know where that's going to run. I'm sure a lot of people will get it, but I was thinking I was going to get it. I thought, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. But when I found out what it does, I'm like, no, I'm going to hold out until I can find a real professional soft serve ice cream machine. that I can afford because I love soft serve and I love ice cream. So I'm going to look for one that will actually freeze my mix. Like I'll make my mix, put it in and freeze, but they're pretty pricey. One day I'll treat myself. All right. Hi, Robin. How are you? Good to see you. Okay. Sherry wants to know if I've tried the Ninja Crispy yet. I have not. But who was I talking to? I think it was Leanne I was talking to the other day, and she has, and she likes it. So I just don't know. I don't know. I don't have it, so I can't. I've never tried it because I don't have it. I just don't know if it fits my style of cooking. Honestly, I think it could work for people, but I don't know anything about it, so I really can't talk about it because I've never used it and I don't know anything about it. Except it has a glass thing and you put the little lid on and everything. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. But so was the Ninja Foodie. The Ninja Foodie, even air fryers were weird to me way back in 2015. A friend of mine asked me if I wanted an air fryer. I'm like, hell no, why would I want an air fryer? I have an oven. It does convection. It'll be fine. It's the same thing. And technically it is the same thing, but because the way the air fryers are, they're just way more efficient. They do a better job. But technically it's the same process. But I was like, nah. Do you need a pressure cooker? No, I don't need a pressure cooker. Why would I need a pressure cooker? So all of that stuff was like a little like out there for me because I was stove and oven all the way. But of course, as you know, I fell in love with the Ninja Foodie and then started getting other appliances and stuff like that. But the crispy, I don't know, it just doesn't speak to me. So I just think because it wouldn't be something I would use personally, for my style of cooking. But I hear it works well. See, there's Leanne. She adores her crispy. So she loves it. Yeah. I just don't know anything about it. Okay, here's another person loves the crispy. Well, now I'm probably going to have to don't make me get the crispy. Goodness. I have so many appliances. It's so crazy. Okay. I'm not sure what this means. Will you be adding more class? I don't know if you mean, am I going to have more classes? Like, am I going to be adding more to the Ninja Foodie course? There's a couple videos I want to get out. There's a couple videos I still want to put in there. I've kind of been dragging my feet a little bit, and it's not fair to the people that have purchased the course. It's nothing that affects it. Like, it's not going to make or break it. The course is very valuable, but there's a couple things, like I wanted to do poaching in like a hobo pack kind of thing, salmon and vegetables and stuff, but I just haven't gotten that. I haven't done it. And with the Ninja Foodie not being available for purchase, I just don't know if that's the best use of my time to put that in there. I'm not sure. But anyway, so if that's what you're talking about, I want to. Will I? I don't know, because I think it's pretty wrapped up. I mean, it's pretty thorough. So I'm not sure if I will, but I do want to. Okay. Now, as far as the skills cabinet goes, yes, I'm adding to that. So if anyone purchased the skills cabinet when they purchased the Ninja Foodie course, you're going to be seeing a lot of changes. Like, I've already changed the whole layout of it. It's amazing. So much easier to find things. And now with the interns, every time I'm doing something that might be not something we would show on a video because, I mean, I already have dicing an onion on there, but like, I'm trying to think of something that we did the other day. Oh, like processing garlic and removing the germ. Like, a lot of people wouldn't even know what the germ was in the garlic. That is going to be something that I'm going to put in there, and different ways to do garlic and things. So as I'm prepping for recipes and for recipe videos, I'm having the interns film me do these different skills, so to speak. And then those short videos will go up into that course. So that course is going to evolve quite a bit over the next year. And then the price is also going to go up, and I don't even think you can buy it. You can't buy it separate. So it only was an add-on for the Ninja Foodie. But what I will do is I will also make it something that people could buy if they just wanted to see, different skills and stuff in the kitchen. And I'm not like the best at everything, right? I mean, I'm not the best, but I try to break it down so it's as simple as possible. I'm not Gordon Ramsay, right? I don't have massive knife skills or anything like that, but I've been doing just fine, and I have all 10 fingers, so, I think I'm doing okay. All right. Let's see. Do you have info on your website for idiots? You're not an idiot, like me, that explains how and when to add stabilizers to ice cream. Yes, sort of. Okay, so sort of I do. Um, I'm trying to remember which kind you got. Your wife one that you put in the freezer, right? I'll have to remember what kind you have. So you can use a little bit of xanthan gum. You can use vodka. What I would do, George, is look at my ice cream recipes. I have a ton of them. And I develop them to be something that is frozen in the freezer and scoopable. So no ice cream machine needed for those recipes. So when you have an ice cream machine, not the Ninja Creamy, but an actual churning ice cream machine of really any sort, you do not need as many stabilizers because you are churning air into your mixture, and that's what keeps it more scoopable. But so yeah, I do have some information on there, but I don't know if it's exactly what you're looking for, but you can always send me an email. And I do apologize, George, because I've gotten your email, and and this is like way before New Year's. Um, and then I think I'm going to respond, and then I just get busy, right? I'm kind of bad. Um, thank you, Sherry. Happy New Year, Glam Dolly. How are you? Um, all right, see, share everyone. Really, people loving that crispy. All right, so Deborah wants to know what the crispy does. So the Ninja Crispy is this is what I know of it. Okay, so anyone else in the chat, please add in your comments, your experiences. It's a glass serving dish, I'm gonna say. And on top of that fits this little lid that is the air fryer part. So you put it on and you crisp up your food. That's all I know about. I think there's two different sizes of these containers, but literally, I do not know anything about it. But it crisps food, and I guess does it steam crisp too? I don't know. Not really sure. I wish I knew more about it, but I just don't. So anyone in the chat, please fill everyone else in on what it does. And as I see them, I'll put them up on the screen here. So if you're on YouTube and leaving a comment, people on Facebook can see it, and so on and so forth. Okay, to the course. Well, to the Ninja Foodie course, I've already answered that. Yes, I want to, and I hope I can get to it. But I also want to do like a quicker course. Now, the course for the Ninja Foodie is very involved. It's like over 110 videos. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how many videos are in there because it goes through every single thing about the Ninja Foodie. And the Ninja Foodie has the pressure cook function. And I mean, it's a lot of different functions, and there's different models, and each model operates a little bit differently. So all of that is included in there. And it's a little overwhelming, I think. But I am going to change the layout of that to be a little bit easier too, just like I did the skills cabinet. But I'd really like to get out something that's quick and easy, like for the combi, the Ninja Combi. Doesn't have, I mean, it has a lot of functions, but it's not quite as complicated without the pressure cook function. So I want to get a course out about that, quick and easy course. And I want to do one for the Possible Cooker Pro, and price them, much lower, and have less videos and stuff, but still be very valuable. So I want to do so much. I need to be 20 people instead of one, but one thing at a time, So that's a good question. Glam Dolly wants to know, what does the crispy do the regular Ninja Foodie can't? I don't know. I hope somebody else can answer that. I guess it's smaller. It's portable. So you could take it with you, I guess. Okay. So I'm going to wait. So I'm going to wait for people to maybe answer the Ninja Crispy questions. And then KS, I'm going to get To you, I left this chat in return, so if this has been discussed, I missed it, but will you be making videos featuring the Ninja Woodfire? Yeah, I already have videos on the Ninja Woodfire. Now, the Ninja Flex Flame, I don't have yet, but I would assume I would do videos on that. We're having our deck rebuilt out here. It's got like rotten boards and stuff. So we're having it rebuilt when we were in Australia. So they're going to come and do it. And I had it kind of set up a little differently with the idea of a better way to do the Woodfire videos. Filming outside is kind of difficult, right? The weather, it just kind of screws things up. But now with having help filming videos with the interns, that's going to make it a lot easier. So you'll see more videos for the Ninja Woodfire, probably starting in February and March. I'll put those out. I also had a problem with my Woodfire. I had to return it. And so I did a entire video, well, getting a pork shoulder done, entire video. And the pellets kept like going out. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, I can't do a video if I can't make this thing work, right? It's ridiculous. But turns out it was faulty. So it had nothing to do with me. It was just a faulty appliance. And I had one at home, works like clockwork. It's perfectly fine. So I couldn't understand what in the world, but I got so frustrated. I just told Jeff, forget that video. I'm not doing it. This thing doesn't even work, Now I'm having trouble with my XL, the larger Woodfire, and I'm going to have to get that replaced under warranty too. It's doing the same thing. So just weird. But then I've got the replacement Woodfire works like clockwork, just like the one at home. So sometimes we get bad appliances. Anyway, I know you didn't ask for all that information, but the answer is yes to the Ninja Woodfire. I am doing recipes on it. I mean, that's my background, really, smoking meat. So it's silly for me not to. Plus, I want to put out my barbecue rubs, and I want to bring those to market. So I want those to be available for people if they want to buy them. And I want you guys to make all my sauces because they're amazing. So I want to get those on my website, the ones that aren't on there. But anyway, I've got lots of ideas, lots of things. So germ, the green core, some say gives you garlic breath. Yes, and it can also make things bitter. So the reason why I started doing this and thinking about this is because I've made a garlic sauce called Tomb. And it's a white garlic sauce, and it looks like mayonnaise. It's amazing. But one of the recommendations was if you find it to be too bitter, because one batch of mine was a little bitter. So I was like, why was this one batch bitter? The other batch wasn't. And it has to do with the germ. And, if you've worked with raw garlic in your lifetime, and done it enough, some are going to really be pronounced. That green part's really pronounced. And sometimes it's still white. It's still there, but it's still white and it's hardly noticeable at all. So it depends on the garlic, but the germ is just this one little thing, and you just pop it out. And apparently that makes your garlic less bitter when you're using it in applications that are uncooked. If you're going to use garlic in a cooked application, a recipe that's cooked, it doesn't make any difference. The bitterness will mellow out as you cook with it. But if you're doing it raw, like you're adding minced garlic to an olive oil, seasoned olive oil, to dip your bread in. I think there's a name for that, but I don't know what it is. Then you definitely want to remove the germ because you don't want that bitterness in your olive oil and spice mixture. And they also, with the garlic sauce, it's not cooked, so you don't want that in there. Although I didn't remove it for my recipe because I didn't, and mine didn't. They weren't green or anything, so I didn't remove them. Okay. Erin says, I don't know what you're talking about. I bought the course right at the beginning. I don't know either. I'm not sure, Erin. Like, I was talking about changing the format of the course so that it's a little bit easier. I bought a new theme that I can apply, which I already applied to the skills cabinet, and it just makes it easier to see the videos, easier to navigate. But other than that, I'm not sure what else. If you have a question about the course, I'm happy to answer it. And the course was finished. I will say this. The course was finished for the 2 lid models. And I mean, as soon as it was finished, they came out with the 1 lid model. And I went right back into filming and added all those videos. So there is a ton of videos on the 1 lid. It's a complete thing. I mean, the course is done. It's just things that I want to add because I think they would add value and help people, understand even more about cooking with the different functions. But I'm just not sure if that's something that I should spend time on right now because you can't even buy them anymore. So the people that have them already, if they've already bought the course, they kind of already know what they're doing, right? You've had enough experience with it. So I don't know. I've been on the fence about that, whether I put the time in to add to that or not. But the skills cabinet, I'm definitely adding to. Oh, Crystal, of course you did not offend me. No, you did not offend me at all. Not at all. And we are your friends. Oh my God. No, I don't have an OnlyFans. Good God have mercy. Okay. We're going to put you in timeout. I don't know if you meant to be OnlyFans. You kidding me? And then it says with all respect. Look, I don't care what anyone else does. If you can have OnlyFans accounts and all that kind of stuff, I do not care. But no, I do not have an OnlyFans account. Good God. Oh my God, that is just so funny. I can't even stand it. Oh my God. Who in the world would want to see a fat old woman on OnlyFans? What do you want me to be doing? Smashing garlic on I've been asked a lot of funny I've been asked a lot of funny questions in my lifetime. But that is probably the funniest one. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna cry. I'm laughing so hard. I don't know if OnlyFans was used to be for something else, but I think it's like a sex site now. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. The only thing I know about it is that I watched this one stupid trash show that my friend Lauren got me into, which I can't even believe I've wasted this much time watching it. But and that is Life After Lockup, and one of them, or Love After Lockup, or something like that. And one one of them has OnlyFans, right? I'm like, what is that? I'm naive. I didn't even know it was all sex sites. Or I think that's what it is now. I don't know if it used to be. I don't know. Anyway, I do not have an OnlyFans account or anything like that. You will not find me on OnlyFans. You will not find me on anything other than Facebook, TikTok, and a few other social media platforms like Instagram, but I'm never even active there. So no, you will not find me on OnlyFans. Oh my God. Yeah. Barbara says maybe that person doesn't know that OnlyFans is nasty. I don't know. But anyway, okay, moving on. Well, thank you. I'm glad I'm very attractive, but I'm not on OnlyFans. Oh, okay. So chaos. That's a good question. That's a really good question. And I have never done it, and I don't know why. But a chuck roast to be like a brisket. I'm thinking about that. Now, okay, when you say to be like a brisket, there are different ways to serve a brisket. Okay, you can slice brisket, you can pull brisket, you can cube brisket. So I would think that if I was going to do a chuck roast, because of the marbling in a chuck roast, I would do it low and slow, just like a brisket. So I would do it on the wood fire. I would do it at around 225 to 250 degrees, I think. I'll have to look and see what I do my brisket at. I might do it at 200, but don't think so, because I think I go higher on the brisket because you want the connective tissue to really break down. And that doesn't happen until about 180 degrees Fahrenheit. So I think I do go to 250 for brisket. So I would do the same thing with chuck roast. But you would be taking it to almost pull apart stage because you want to render the fat inside, break down the connective tissue and things like that. I'm not sure how it would do to slice, but I'm gonna have to try it. Um, this is kind of funny story. I was going to go to Sam's today, but then Jeff told me, well, we were going by Sam's on Thursday on our way out of town. And what I needed was some stuff, to make there for the weekend. Um, but I also wanted to pick up some chuck roast and some other meats because I get most of my meats at Sam's Club, because I don't like the selection at our local Walmart. And we don't have any stores around here. So, I mean, I know there's great places to source different kinds of cuts of meat, but we don't have any of that. Like, I'm in Hickville, okay? We don't have any of that. So Sam's is like gourmet meats, right, for us. So if I go to Nashville, I will go to Whole Foods and get some really nice cuts. But a day in and day out, it's Walmart, Kroger, Aldi, or Sam's. So Aldi's got some good meats too sometimes. But anyway, I haven't gotten there to get any. So I wanted to do a few things with a chuck roast, and I haven't gotten to them, and I don't have any in my freezer anymore. But that is a good idea. I think I'm going to do that. So I think I'm going to play around with that when I get back. Um, Yeah, Glam Dolly, I think Jeff would have something to say if I started an OnlyFans. I do think he would. Um, the cat is trying to eat the plant behind me. They're fake. So, I mean, she'll just ingest some plastic, I guess. They're fake. They look good though, don't they? But yeah, they're both fake. They're from what do you call it? Oh, she left. Yeah. Because she probably was like, oh, this tastes like plastic. Anyway, yeah. So no, that's so funny. Um, Oh my gosh, I still can't get over that OnlyFans. That's so funny. That's just too funny. Well, I don't think that person, I don't know, they can't come back. And if they come back again, I'll block them. But I just put them in timeout because sometimes I might see something and not really understand. Maybe they didn't mean it in any kind of weird way. So I just kind of don't want to jump the gun. I mean, there's some I know, or you're just a jerk and you're gonna go. But speaking of jerk, have you ever made jerk chicken? I have, and it's amazing. And I didn't write a darn thing down, and I have no idea how to do it again. I've made it a couple different ways, and one way that I liked it was with just a dry rub. I've also tried it with marinating, or was it a little bit of both? I can't remember. I didn't write anything down, and it was so delicious. So I'll have to get back with that and try that out again. Um, all right. Okay. So, what is my favorite way to make French fries? Any tips? Okay. I, I'm gonna. Hey Jeff, was that you? Oh, that's a dishwasher beeping. I just want to make sure something wasn't going off in the kitchen that I needed to know about. All right. So you guys are gonna laugh. My favorite way to make French fries is to get a bag from the frozen aisle of the grocery store and put them in my air fryer. They're amazing. Okay. But they're also good if you make them from scratch, but I don't think it's necessarily worth the time, honestly. Um, so yeah, that's my favorite way to make them. Second favorite way would be to make them, fresh, soak them in water to get the starch out, and then throw them into a deep fryer, probably. But you can air fry them too, and they're good, but they only last fresh. They only are good for that like few minutes, right? So yeah, but my favorite way is just to buy the bag frozen because it's so easy. All right. So Cursor, so you can tell me how to make jerk chicken. So there you go. You tell me how to make it. That'll be great. Um, and do you make it with just dry rub or a marinade? I've read both things. So I'm not sure. Now I think the dogs are. Oh, you're good. Oh, you can't see. Come on. Oh, not you. I wasn't calling you. I thought the cat was getting the zoomies, which is hysterical when she does, because she will zoom up and down and around and all over the furniture and stuff. She's crazy. Oh, that's great. I'm going to explain why I said that. Okay. George says, "Hey, Jeff, was that you?" Oh, no, it was the dishwasher. Does Jeff normally sound like a dishwasher? No, but Jeff edits my videos, and there are so many beeps from appliances on these videos that when I heard this little beep beep, I'm like, Jeff, was that you? Like thinking, where are you editing a video and I'm hearing the beep? But it was our dishwasher telling us that it had just finished. So then it beeps. It's a gentle beep, and then it opens up. It's so funny. All right, I'll have to look that up. Dunn's River Grace brand. I don't know anything about that, but I'll look that up. Cursor, I will. All right, guys. So anything else before I say goodnight to you? Because I actually went longer than I thought. It's almost 8:30 now. So I'm going to jump off here. I've got to make this other thing. And I guess John, bye, Deborah. And I guess, did John leave? I thought I read something somewhere that John had to sign off too. And then I never did see anything about the crispy. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Here we go. Let's put this up here right now. The crispy has 4 modes and you can set time, but not temperature. People take them to work. Great for 1 or 2. Okay. So that's interesting. You can set the time, but that's right, Leanne. You were telling me that. That seems so weird to me. You can set the time, but not the temperature. That just seems weird. But anyway, thanks, Leanne, for that clarification. I totally forgot that you and I talked about that. All right. I think we are all done. If you have any other questions, let's see. Oh, somebody says, what brand of frozen fries do you favor? I don't know if I eat them so infrequently that I don't. Whoa, what is going on? Out front? Yeah. Oh. Our door's sticking. Obviously, that scared me a little bit. Anyway, a cold oil method. Cover raw fries with just enough oil and fry 15 minutes on low until you like the color. I've never heard of that. I'm going to have to give that a try. Good night, Barbara. But I don't have a brand because I don't eat them very often at all. So I don't really have a brand. We tried to make them. Did we make chips or fries the other day, Jeff? I think he's back there anyway. All right, I'm gonna have to try that. I can't even imagine. I can't wrap my head around that cold method frying with oil. I can't even wrap my head around that. How that would work and not get your fries all oily. Your OnlyFans is popping up. All right, bye. See you later. That's too funny. Okay, Aaron, how I would cook an eye round of roast. That depends on how you want to serve it, but I would absolutely 100%. Well, I can't say 100% because I would do it 1 or 2 ways. I would either pressure cook it or I would sous vide cook it, either one. And I know I have a recipe for an eye of round, and I'm not being focused. My camera's not focused, so I look all blurry and weird. It's probably from all the stuff going on around me. Anyway, so probably the eye round of roast. I think I might have sliced it though. I don't remember. I swear I have an eye round of roast recipe that's in the pressure cooker. Let me see. Let me look it up real quick for you. I have so many recipes. I can't even keep track of them anymore. Yeah. Yeah. I have a tender and juicy eye of round roast in the pressure cooker, and it was amazing. It was really, really good. Sous vide would be another good option for you. Cursor, I am a Gemini. So neither one. I'm a Gemini. Okay. Okay, George, that's a good point. I suspect Glam Dolly is talking about blanching the fries on a low heat before frying a second time on a higher heat. Well, now I have done that before, but I don't know if I've done a lower heat. I think I've done them both higher heat, but a double fry. I mean, a double fry works great for French fries. Works great for chicken too. If you're talking about hot oil frying, not air frying. Oh no, so no, George, she's talking about you literally cook raw potato fries in cold oil on low medium until they are brown. Stir after 15 minutes. They will be brown. Do you soak them, Glam Dolly, to get the starch out? June, Cursor, June 11th is my birthday. Um, all right, I want to know this, Glam Dolly. I hope you're still in the chat because I really want to know. Do you soak them? Because that seems like it would be so easy. I might have to try it. I just can't wrap my head around it. Honestly, I would think they would absorb so much grease that it would be kind of icky. Okay, so she washes them in cold water and then dries them. Okay, all right. So that does pull a little bit of the starch out, but it doesn't sound like you soak them. I would have never. I'm having a hard time believing it, but I do believe you. So I'm gonna have to try it. Maybe we'll try it this weekend when we're out of town. This place apparently has a gourmet kitchen. So I probably should go live and show you guys the place that we're staying. It's pretty nice. Not expensive, like not, mansion nice, but it looks like a nice kitchen and everything. So I'll talk to Lauren. Well, she doesn't have to be in the video. Jeff and I can be in the video if she doesn't want to. So I'll try to plan to do that. We get there Thursday, so maybe I'll do a quick Friday evening thing or something like that to go live. Maybe Saturday. I don't know. Well, you'll see me if you see me. That's how we're going to leave it because it's not just my vacation, Anyway. Okay, so I'm getting lots of questions. Triple D or Man versus Food? Neither. I don't watch food shows, believe it or not. Probably Triple D over Man versus Food, I would guess. I don't think I've ever seen Man versus Food. So Triple D, diners, drive-ins, and dives, only because I like the little mom and pop places. So I have watched that a few times, but I don't really watch the Food Network at all. And I would be an Ina Garten girl. That's who I would watch. I like her personality and stuff. All right, guys, you have a wonderful night. And okay, we got some more oil stuff. You just cover the raw potatoes. It's great I'm going to try it. Yeah. Oh, good idea, George. A Tasty Tuesday side experiment. Bingo. Really good idea. Let's do that on Tuesday. I always have potatoes. So yeah, that sounds good. We'll do that on Tasty Tuesday. We'll test this out, whether or not this will work and how well it will work. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off here. So, yeah, I do too. Glam Dolly says, I love Ina. I do too. There's something about her. I don't know. She's just sweet. Cursor and I go live every Tuesday at 7:00 our time, Central Time. And 1 week is this. We just chat. It's always fun though, because people have questions and sometimes I can answer them. Sometimes I can't. But the people in the chat usually can, because, we learn better together. We all have life experiences that we know things that other people don't know. Right. So it's just great. And then we also get into these fun little things about like this tonight, French fries. Like who would have thought that we would be talking about French fries and cooking them in cold oil, right? And it's fun. It's just a lot of fun. So I really enjoy it. And everybody in the chat is super nice. We very seldom get any trolls or nasty people in here. It's just a lot of fun. Then the following week, which will be next Tuesday, I do Tasty Tuesday with my husband, which is when I cook with surprise ingredients. So kind of think chopped, right? But a lot less pressure, right? But and no $10,000 prize at the end. So anyway, um, yeah, okay. Don't Glam Valley saying don't cut the potatoes too thick. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm doing this. We're going to do this next Tuesday. So I'm going to try it out and see what happens. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you, Cursor, for all the, that was kind of fun. I felt like I was in a rapid fire question and I wasn't sure. I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't sure. I was like, is this a troll? Like I wasn't really sure. But anyway, good to know that you're not. Glad you could join in the chat tonight and ask away all the questions. My life is an open book, but I do not have an OnlyFans page. So it's not that open. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.